Paul? Yes. I was just looking at the 1934 Restatement of Torts. Yes. hmm the restatement recognized, however, that in many cases, mental distress could be so intense that it could reasonably be foreseen that illness or other bodily harm might result. If the defendant intentionally subjected the plaintiff to such distress and bodily harm resulted, the defendant would be liable for negligently causing the plaintiff bodily harm. Restatement of Torts 306312. Under this theory, the cause of action was not founded on a right to be free from intentional interference with mental tranquility, but on the right to be free from negligent interference with physical well-being. A defendant who intentionally subjected another to mental distress without intending to cause bodily harm would nevertheless be liable for the resulting bodily harm if he or she had foreseen that the mental distress might cause such harm. Yes. Now, obviously, there's been a tremendous amount of mental distress in the false arrests. Yeah. The fraudulent imprisonments. Yes. The mental health evaluations. Oh. And then there's all these physical problems that I've had that have caused my immune system to be really impaired. Yes. There's the bacterial pneumonia. Oh, the sleep apnea. Yes. And then there was the what was it? The sulfa. Yes. The MRSA bacteria or virus. Right. Then the numerous teeth infections. Ooch, all the broken teeth. Yes. Now, obviously, there has been a lot of physical damage done to my physical body. Yes. Because of your refusal to enforce the law. Now, I have to really appreciate the amount of mental distress that I've had to experience. Yeah. It does play into the depressed immune system of my physical body. Yes. And I would say that every time that I went to the emergency room for penicillin, yes. All the amoxicillin, yes. All the antibiotics, poop. You're actually liable for all of the actual physical bodily harm that I have experienced. Yes, because of the mental distress of all the time that you obligated me to be on personal recognizance. Now, I know in your mind, it doesn't matter that I have broken teeth. No, no, no. It doesn't matter all the infections that I've had to experience because of having to reside in a homeless shelter. Yes. It doesn't matter to you that I don't have a CPAP machine. Pooch! But I'm going to sue you for all the physical as well as mental injury that you caused me. Yes. Now, I would think this tranquility that they talk about, yes, that is something I have not been able to experience. Where it should be, yes, that I reside with my sons, yes, and I'm able to speak to Marilyn about where she wants to reside, yes, and in a nice five-star hotel room, yes, I get one of these sleeping machines so that I'm able, yes, to breathe while sleeping. Now, the improvements that I'm wanting to make in my physical as well as mental well-being, yes, I'm not mentally ill. Yes, you have refused to enforce the laws. Mhm. There is nobody in the United States, at least I don't think there is, yes, that wouldn't feel a certain amount of mental distress, yes, for being accused of a crime where they did know that they had not committed that crime. Yes, it would cause mental distress to pretty much anybody, yes, to be falsely arrested, falsely imprisoned, falsely accused of being psychotropic, schizophrenic, bipolar. Yes, and then having to go through all that time in jail because nobody wanted to admit the evidence of their innocence. Now, we're looking at 8 years of the loss of tranquility, 8 years of physical damage. I have not actually had insurance since I was self insured when I owned the business known as James Thomas King Financial Service. Heidi might remember. Yeah. Mm. Hmm. When we went on welfare while living in Airway Heights, yes, We were actually on the Medicaid. Yes, we were on the Apple Health. See, when my sons were born, yes, yes, yes. We in Washington State were on welfare. We were receiving food stamps. Oh, uh-huh. And let's see, the actual expense of Benjamin's gestation, was an expense to the state of Washington. See, we had prayed. Yes, they did. Asking the Lord. And when God didn't answer the way that we thought He would, yeah, we went to the welfare. Do you remember that welfare? Yes. Why don't you get me the surveillance video footage of every welfare department in the United States? They have a lot of cameras there where they actually do have facial recognition technology. Yes. And then when we applied for welfare, they said I was head of household and they put Heidi's money, as child support in my name, and we went to child support services in Spokane, Washington. Yeah. Above each of the booths there, yes, they have what's known as a video camera. Now, I'm going to want to know the actual identity of every welfare recipient. Yes, not just the food stamps. No, all of those on the Apple Healthcare. Now, when we move to Guam, right now,